it is your time to it's your time to show evidence of your design thinking. Okay? We know the problem. 3.5 million children dying because of certain problems, diarrhea and other respiratory diseases. We have not done the research ourselves, but somebody else has shown that to us. We know about it. And as engineers, you have been asked to sort the problem out. You have worked extremely hard to come up with a solution. You have thought, you have spoken to each other, you have thought well, you have discussed the problem amongst yourself, using your prior skills and some new skills which you developed, i.e. your technical skills with regards to use of the drilling machine, etc. And some hand saws and hand tools, you have created an artifact. Now I want to see evidence of your design thinking. Like, आप तभी केवी दिखते, सो आने पाछड़ thinking सोच है, आप design ने पाछड़ thinking सोच है. Okay? And as a team, you should be able to explain that. Be as expansive as possible, i.e. show your design thinking to the deepest possible realm or level. And I did explain to you a number of things you should be thinking, and you should have added more to your design thinking. I did say, we'll dock them 10 marks for being late. We want to see evidence of your planning and thought processes. I want to see evidence of your designs, how well you have laid it out, how clear is it. And one of the things I do with my students is, they should annotate everything. There's a pivot, there's the linkage, there's the lever, there's the mass, they should have written this down. Is it legible? Can I see and understand it? Can your lecturers, if they see your drawing, can they make a basic assumption as to what do you mean there? A good design or a good drawing or a sketch is where I do not have to, or your faculty doesn't have to ask you a question. It should be self-explanatory. Today, you are designing it for yourself. You have your own sketch, and for your friend. You can talk to him. Tomorrow, when you finish your graduate, you get your degrees, you'll be designing for the world. You will create a design that will be emailed to somebody in China. You can't talk to them in Chinese. Chinese out there? You can't talk to them. You'll be designing for a company in Germany. You can't talk German. So the only common language engineers know, what language are engineers? Drawing is the only common language for all engineers, combining all engineers around the world. And if you can't draw properly, and if you can't explain or communicate your ideas, you're not likely to be very much successful, I can guarantee you that. So we want to see legible drawings. Your ideas should be clearly labeled, should be presentable, yes. If I put it up here, when you go to second year, when you are in the second year, when we give this program, with this project to the first years, next year, they should be able to see the outcome. Okay? Example of outcomes. With regards to the design of the product itself, we want to see the basic functionality of the product. Does it function? Does it work? Obviously, that's engineers will want to make it work first. And then we want to think about the aesthetics. How good does it look? Does it look balanced? Is it painted well? Is it lightweight? Is it easy to carry? Is it likely to work in the environment? Will it work for a longer period of time? Will it fall down if there is wind? It's stable enough. So a large number of things have to be that we'll be looking at your design. Applicability. Is the product, can the product be used in real? Any application? If you develop it just a bit further, can you use it? Yes or no? Evidence of analysis and testing. We did this in order to come up with a design. We did this, and the other. Testing and analysis. Obviously, the last stage is your presentation. We want to see how well you present and communicate your ideas and thoughts. English, Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil, I don't know that. Or Malayalam, I don't know that either. So don't use that. Hindi, English and Gujarati is fine. Communicate your ideas. Appropriate target audience. You are talking to engineers. Would be engineers. Professional engineers. Target your talk to such kind of audience. Use good technical language. As I said earlier, pivot, linkage, lever. You've learned that in year 12 science, I know that. Thoughtful final reflections. It did not work because of this and here. We would want to improve this product by doing 1, 2, and 3. Get the point? Is there anything else the faculty wants to add to what I've said? You want to add something? You want to add something to what I've said, or you want to? Is it fine? Who is going to evaluate and grade? Okay? We'll give it to the head of the department to evaluate and grade your products. Okay? So he will, when you present, he will be marking, giving you marks based on the rubric. Yeah? And the one which gets the highest mark of 100, the team which gets the best marks, or the highest, or the winning team, will get 5 tickets to Chennai Express. Is that right? Can we give them 5 tickets? Anyway, if the head of the department cannot do that, I will arrange for it. Okay? Is it a good enough price? Yeah. Or you have already seen Chennai Express?
Yeah, already.
Sorry, I can't do that anymore. Anyway, something, it's not a question of price, but something to celebrate later on. Okay? Okay, so where do we start? Who wants to start first? Group A, B, C, D? Do they know what groups are?
Yeah, yes. You all are having your group numbers, right? So we start with ascending or descending.
Shall I choose? Group C, come on then. I think that's okay, are you ready? Ready, sir? Okay. At certain point in your presentation, there will be a chance for the audience to ask some kind of clarifying questions. Can clarify, if they are not clear, if you are not clear in communicating, they will be asking you some questions. Okay? For the audience, you need to listen. You need to listen carefully. You should be thinking about how to ask some clarifying questions. If something is not clear, you should be ready to ask a question. And this is in design terms, this is called critique, having a critique. And there are certain rules about critiquing. You cannot say, be kind to people. They have spent a lot of time and effort. Be kind to people, ask them questions which is meaningful, or those are meaningful. If you see a problem, ask them, have they thought about something X, Y, and Z? Or can you clarify whether this can be used in mud or not? So be kind. You need to critique, you need to be kind. You cannot say that this is a rubbish product, a rubbish shed. You can't say that. That's not allowed. Okay? Whatever you say, it should be helpful for these people to develop their ideas further. Okay? So it's a joint effort to make the product better. Off you go.
So one more thing is that they are given feedback form. So they can...
Yeah, that's fine.
Good afternoon, respected sir. Good afternoon to all of my friends. I would like to introduce my group members and me. Myself, Solanki Urvis, and my group members are as.
My name is Parmar Paras.
My name is Parmar Mayur. My name is Jia Solanki.
My name is Kalsari.
Yes, sir, given us a task to hand your wash without touching hands. Hand your wash without touching hands. In that case, we have some solutions. Yes. We make this plan. Yes. In this plan, we got some problems, but after facing and solving this problem, we got this. First of all, we can't get this plan and these whole things. First of all, we get like this plan. Yes. We draw roughly this, but we can't know that how to make stand and etc. But after some making plans and discussing about these plans, we choose this one. Yes. We think that this is appropriate for this problem. That's why we choose this.
हमने यहाँ पर जो फ्रेंड्स थे यहाँ पर पीछे से हमें बताया है। तो हम जब यहाँ से गए एक गाड़ी से तो आएगा
इसके मैकेनिज्म में ये थ्रेड्स के हैं, ये थ्रेड्स है, ये जो पैडल है, इस पैडल से इसको ऐसे हम करते हैं, इधर से बांध करता है, इधर से ये थ्रेड है, इधर से टाइट हुआ है. Yes. If we move this, then it will be like as this. Yes, this. And for support, for move this bottle as this one, we put this bottle at here, which is tied with it. Yes, this is, which is tied with it. Yes. We make it with more efforts, but we because of these bottles and only threads, we can't make it very clear. If we use some pins and other things, then we make it very clear, and we think that it is really useful.
I think now it's a question. If you have one,
Is there any question?
if you have any questions for the team, you can fire it now. Even faculty can ask. Yeah, there is one question here.
સર આ સ્ટેન્ડ છે એ તો નીચે ખોદવું પડે તો પથરાવાળી જગ્યા ઉપર
મને નહીં, આને પૂછો.
પથરાવાળી જગ્યા ઉપર કઈ રીતે બેસે આ સ્ટેન્ડ
નહીં, પકડાવાળી જગ્યા ઉપર એટલે આ જે છે ને થ્રેડ્સ ની થ્રેડ્સથી એટલું મજબૂત નથી થઈ છે બોન્ડિંગ, નજર ક્યાં થઈ શકે
thickness है ना,
આ છેલ્લેથી છે ને એવું ને ફિંગર ચાલુ વધારે વખતે તો છે ને
अगर ज्यादा हो
ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ્સ થોડા કમ વધારે તો થઈ શકે.
સર્ફેસ સાદી અને વિકલાંગો હોય તેની માટે આ કઈ રીતે આમ કઈ મૂક્યું છે તમે એક્સ્ટ્રા
વિકલાંગ
વિકલાંગો માટે આપનો હોય એના માટે તો છે જ અને પગનો હોય એના માટે use one hand and કરીએ કે આપણે ફોર્સ મૂકી દઈએ તો આપણે અહીંયા હાથે ત્યાં કરીએ તો આમાં પાણી આપણે લઈ શકીએ આવું છે ને જે એવું હોય ને ત્યાં હાથે ત્યાં ભરાવે આમ કરે છે.
Okay, a couple of valid questions coming up, such as how can a પથરાળું જમીનમાં કેવી રીતે ચાલે, કેવી રીતે use થાય. As of now, he is standing on it and it's stable, but otherwise it can't. If you leave it, it will fall down. So it's not a standalone project. એક પ્રોડક્ટની સાથે એક માણસ દેવો પડે પકડીને ઊભું રહેવા માટે, બરોબર ને? હે ને? દેવો પડે ને? એ કોસ્ટલી થાય ને? એના 800 રૂપિયા દેવા પડે દરરોજના પકડીને ઊભું રહેવા.
Sir, but this page is so very small.
If we get small equipment, then we
That's fine. But you can't say, I could have done better if I had more equipment or material. This was the material given to you, and if you had given thought to it, you could have made a better or bigger footprint. You could have reduced the height, and the amount of material you would have got, you could have made some supports to make it much more, the footprint larger. And a footprint, kevai. The amount of space required to support your design is footprint. So you could have enlarged the footprint. You could have done some triangulation. You will learn more about it in coming years. If you had put a triangulation, if you had put a string from that point to that point, and that point to that point, and if you had done some triangulation, you would have been much more stronger. Okay? If you had done some triangulation from that point to that point, and vice versa on the other point, if you had to cross braces, it would have been much more stronger. Now I'm not saying that you are bad in design. You do not have enough information. That's what your teachers, your professors, lecturers will tell you more about, triangulation and how to make it strength in machine design, how to make it stronger. That will come later on, isn't it? Okay? So, valid question there. That's fine. But you need to, do you have any suggestions of how could they have done it?
એમાં થોડુંક જે પગલું છે ને એ થોડુંક નીચે રાખે અને ત્યાં વચ્ચે કાંઈ પણ વસ્તુ મૂકી શકે તો ઓલા જે સીટ ઉપર વિકલાંગ કે કોઈ બી બેઠા હોય એ નાના છોકરા હોય તો એને ખેંચીને પણ યુઝ કરી શકે.
Okay, so that's what you suggested, isn't it? That's what they suggested. But you did not explain to the team earlier. Your team did not explain to the others about it earlier. So be clear. You should be able to. There should be as little clarifying questions as possible. Okay, that's fine. And he has given a solution. You were working on the same lines. Any other questions? You wanted a question, yeah?
My question is જો તમે જે સ્ટેન્ડનો યુઝ કર્યો છે તો એનો આ તમે પકડવાનો ફાયદો શું?
And at a stage, બરોબર કામ કરતું નથી. Okay. Do you have any suggestions to how can you improve it? It's easy to criticize. Okay? It's very difficult to come up with a solution to the problem.
જો સપોર્ટ એને બે બાજુથી કરવામાં આવે તો
Other support વધારી શકાય. Heavy
we
load.
have limited so that
Okay. That's fine.
some
Right.
also told us that decrease this size and put some
Okay.
for comfortable.
That's fine. Anything else? Yeah.
You have to give some effort.
Yes.
તમારે કંઈક એને એફર્ટ આપવા પડશે ને ટિલ્ટ કરાવવા માટે.
Effort is more when you put your foot down. It's called in technical terms, in engineering terms, it's called effort. ગુજરાતીમાં શું કહેવાય effort ને? Sorry? પ્રયત્ન, but in technical terms, in science, effort. What? Kind of, whatever it is. Yeah, that's right. So you had a question, yeah?
How can you reduce that effort?
મારો એક પગ weak છે. I can't press hard. I'm 80 years old. I do not have the strength to put that effort.
આ મોટરને તમે એપ્લિકેશન રાખી એનું કોઈ કેલ્ક્યુલેશન રાઈટ ઇઝ ડિફરન્ટ. સપોઝ આનો એંગલ અત્યારે 75 હોય વિથ હોરિઝોન્ટલ, ઓકે, તમે એને 75 ની બદલે 60 કરો, ચેન્જ કરો. કેન યુ હેવ એની લેસ એફર્ટ? You can change that angle. Increase or decrease, that you have to change.
So the question is valid. He's proposing something. By changing the angle, is it possible to lessen the effort? Face again. Possible. That's what he's asking here. Okay?
The angle is 45. This can be push the
efforts that can be post
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? नहीं कोई क्वेश्चन है बरोबर છે ડિઝાઇન કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ નથી પ્રોબ્લેમ છે ઓકે તો સોલ્વ થઈ જાય ઓકે solvable problem can it be used is it ready to be used by making some changes is it a usable design there is a chance of it working it's not a complete failure આ ભાઈ ક્યો હાલો આ સિસ્ટમમાં પાણી પીવાય તો શું કરવાનું બરોબર ને क्या सिस्टम ऊपर उस सिस्टम में पानी कहाँ से के भरवाना सही बात है यार तुम बोल पाने
you will also see your plan. Let me ask you a question.
okay listen I know you are excited yeah go
ઉપર છે ટાંકી મૂકી દેવાની ત્યાંથી લડી અહીંયા જોઈન્ટ કરવાની પછી તમે જ્યારે ખાલી થાય ત્યારે ફોર્સો એટલે ઉપરથી પાણી એમાં ભરી જાય એટલે તમે અહીંયા રાખવાની એટલે આટલું ભરાઈ ગયું એટલે ફૂલ થઈ ગયું પછી તમે યુઝ કરો એટલે ખાલી થઈ ગયું પાછું ખાલી થઈ જાય એટલે પાછું પાણી ભરાઈ જાય ઓટોમેટિકલી પાછું તમે યુઝ કરી શકો
है ना बरोबर से नहीं है वेरी गुड नाउ गुड क्वेश्चन and a good answer है આ પ્રોજેક્ટ માં બે પાર્ટ્સ છે આ this first year project second year માં from this design you have to design an automatic filling system to this તમારા ઘરે અહીંયા ટેન્ક દેવામાં આવશે અને તમારે ઓટોમેટિક ફિલિંગ થાય એવું સિસ્ટમ બનાવવાનું છે that is the second year project okay એ આવશે next year again there is more back engineering to that a lot of physics behind it okay any more questions anybody okay આનું શું ફંક્શન છે
એ છે ને આપણા કરી ત્યારે પાછી છે ને જે ફોર્સ લાગે ને પાણીનો ફોર્સ એટલો બધો હોય કે પાછી એની ફોર્સની જેમ આવે એટલે આના કરવા માટે પાછી
આને શું કહેવાય in technical terms what is it called એક વસ્તુને ફોર્સ સિટી બનાવવા માટે રિવર્સ ફોર્સ પણ અને કંઈક એનું ટેકનિકલ ટર્મ છે anybody
કાઉન્ટર
who said that faculty you are not part of this project is this your team oh that's fine in technical terms એટલે હું તમને કહેતો ને one of your criteria is your use of technical language right આ weight તો છે પણ એને counter weight કહેવાય counter weight okay it counters the weight so you have one of the big couple of things which is good in this design is a clever use of this bottle and the amount of water to make it counterweight. It's a very good design because of that in that sense. Okay, it's a very good design. So well done for that. Okay, any other questions? Okay, well done. Okay, team A. Team A. Whenever you're ready.
Hello friends, good afternoon. We make a multiple use of post basin and this project is used for children and men and women or women. हमने ये प्रोजेक्ट एज के हिसाब से किया है और कोई भी अप्लाई किया हो और कोई भी दूल्हा लगा चलता हो उसके लिए बनाया है जो छोटा बच्चा है इसके 5 to 10 years they use this side and जो लोग बड़े होते हैं वो इस साइड का यूज़ कर सकते हैं हमने एक बहुत ही सिंपल मैकेनिज्म का यूज़ किया है यहाँ पे हमने यहाँ पे बटन लगाया है इसके हम अभी लैक ऑफ टाइम हम अपना प्रोजेक्ट पूरा नहीं कर पाए इसलिए हम आपको सॉरी बोलते हैं हम सबकी तरफ से आपको सॉरी बट हम आपको प्रोजेक्ट की तरफ से हम बता सकते हैं आपको कि हमने यहाँ पे बता रखा है और स्प्रिंग के जो बटन प्रेस करेंगे तो स्प्रिंग पे दबाओ खिंचाव पैदा होगा और बोतल नीचे की तरफ झुकेगी फ्लोट होगा और पानी निकलेगा वहाँ से ऐसा ही सेम इस तरफ भी होता है एंड देन हम लोगों ने ये प्रोजेक्ट कटिंग और ड्रिलिंग और सम ऐसी कुछ मैकेनिकल प्रोजेक्ट की तरफ से हमने बनाया है और बाकी सब आपको कोई प्रेफरेंस
आप इसमें एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो कि कैसे काम करेगा? That's fine. आप इसमें एक्सप्लेन करो कि कैसे काम करेगा.
But sir, we don't know.
Okay, doesn't what do you mean? इसमें एक्सप्लेन किधर होगा? फ्रेंच किधर होगा?
अच्छा है यहाँ पे. हाँ, यहाँ पे बोतल पे यहाँ पे थोड़ा ऊपर यहाँ पे पेडल होगा जो हम प्रेस करेंगे और स्ट्रिंग से नीचे आएंगे.
तो वहाँ पे
यहाँ पे
थोड़ा ब्लॉक होगा.
वो
ये
बोतल
बोतल
के
में पानी का फ्लो यहाँ पे ज्यादा होगा, इसलिए वहाँ पे इक्वल बैलेंस के लिए हमने दूसरा ब्लॉक
ब्लॉक हम पीछे लगाया है.
ब्लॉक किधर से आएगा?
हमने
ब्लॉक कौन सा मटेरियल से बनेगा?
हमने अभी जो ऊँट से ही बनाया था वो अच्छा है हमारे पास इसीलिए.
ओके, नहीं तो ये ऊँट से बनेगा. ठीक है.
हमारे
वो में है?
हाँ सर, हमारे पास वो कोई मटेरियल नहीं था इसलिए हमने.
ओके, इधर स्प्रिंग होगा, इधर थंब स्प्रिंग होगा. फिर क्या होगा? फिर
ऑटोमेटिक पानी का फ्लो हम जब यहाँ से फोर्स ले लेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिक बोतल से वापस डिपॉजिट होगा.
ये खड़ा कैसे रहेगा?
यहाँ पे ये सबसे ज्यादा
मटेरियल था आपके पास? पर टाइम नहीं था.
और हमने यहाँ पे जो हाइट ज्यादा है इसलिए इसको मेंटेन कर लेंगे कि इधर ज्यादा स्ट्रेंथ से स्टैंड होता है बैलेंस कर सके.
काउंट बैलेंस करेंगे. ओके, तो ड्राइंग में है.
हाँ यस.
वो एक साइड में आपने 35 दिया है, एक साइड में 35 दिया है.
ये दोनों 40 सेंटीमीटर की और ये 150 सेंटीमीटर की.
ओके,
हमने पूरा कैलकुलेशन करके पूरा सेंटीमीटर का इसका.
तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट किसके लिए है?
सर ये बड़े लोगों के लिए और ये छोटे लोगों के लिए.
और ये सिस्टम इधर भी होगी.
आपने हमें बोला था ना यार.
ओके, ठीक है. ओके,
मल्टीपल दोनों के लिए.
ओके, राइट. फिनिश. Any queries? Any questions? Yeah.
પેલા તો જો સ્ટેન્ડ સ્થિર નથી. હવે ઓલી નીચેની બોટલ છે એમાં પાણી પૂરું થઈ ગયું. કોઈ નાનો છોકરો આવ્યો તો એ હવે ઉપરની બોટલમાં પાણી ભરેલું છે તો હવે એને હાથ કેમ?
बट सर हमने यहाँ पे तो हम नहीं बता सकते. हम यहाँ पे नहीं बता सकते वरना हम इधर से पाइपलाइन से मतलब ये बोतल वहाँ पर नहीं होगी तो ऐसे आपने बनाया है और यहाँ से पाइपलाइन से दोनों बोतल में पानी होता है.
पानी की कमी जब होगी तब वो ऑटोमेटिक पानी उसमें भरेगी.
भर जाएगा लेकिन यहाँ पे हम नहीं आपको बता सकते ना.
Okay, a valid question. I have no doubt. इनका valid question है कि ये खत्म हो गया तो बड़े छोटे बच्चे कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. और ये क्या है?
हमने बूस्टर बनाया.
ओके, वो अंग्रेजी में क्यों लिखा? हाँ? वो रिबड़ा में लेके गए तो वो मालूम पड़ेगा आपको क्या? रिबड़ा से कौन है? Anybody? No. Okay, just a joke. Any other questions? Valid question this one, yeah?
હા આપણામાં પાણી ભરી ત્યારે તો ઓલું અત્યારે જેમ નમેલું એમાં પાણી ભરી તો હાવ ઓલું રાઈટ હાવ નથી. એ નથી યાર નથી.
Okay. એનો તમને કહેવાનું એમ છે કે ભાઈ તૈયાર નથી એટલે મને માફ કરજો કઈ રીતે પહેલા બરોબર છે. Okay? But કોઈમાં દેખાડ્યું છે. Okay? Any other questions? Anybody? Okay, I have anybody put faculty from anybody? Any technical elements to it? Okay. One thing from me, your use of language. Okay, your use of language. You are good at drawing and designing, so that's a good element. You are putting your numbers, dimensions are very clear, so it's a very good drawing. You are able to communicate that well. The other aspect is that you have not been able to finish that project. For engineers, timekeeping is something very, very important. If you finish a bridge, it does have a big problem. Bridge is the more one language, the charge of us deadline because engineers can't finish it properly. Okay, so we have to be careful with the time. Use of language, fine with the technical elements, but be careful. You should not use the question of words such as lula and lagda, because it's a derogatory term. Okay, it's not a good term to use. I don't know whether it's fine here or not, but culturally in the UK, you can't somebody tell that. There is some technical word or words like physically challenged, disabled or physically challenged. Okay, so use of such good language is required for by engineers at least. Don't use lula and lagda. Or if somebody is blind, then no can. Okay, it's not right. You need to say he is physically or visually impaired. Okay, કઈ ખામી છે નથી okay so we have to be very careful in use of language okay that's fine for me anything else okay well
Happy Independence Day.
thank you and same to you all of you
Thank you, sir.
did you want to go on the video okay team A done team C done let's go for team D team D is it freestanding? Does it stand on its own? No, it will fall down if you leave it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay, go for it. Explain.
Myself, Pradeep Mechanic from MD.
Fine, please. Thank you.
हम सब ने पहले चार्ट बनाया है, चार्ट पेज का ड्राइंग है। सबसे पहले मैं अपनी टीम को इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहूँगा। सब अपने इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे। ये है राष्ट्र हार्दिक, इसके बाद स्टार्ट है। ये है चुडासमा चिराग, ये है नायक झरुका एंड चौहान प्रमोद। हम सब ने टीम में मिलकर ये वर्क किया है। सबसे पहले हमने सोचा कि ये हम कैसे कर पाएंगे और इसका डिज़ाइन हम कैसे बनाएं, क्या मैकेनिज्म हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं इसके लिए, और तो कॉमन पीपल के लिए भी यूज़ करना अच्छा रहे। इसलिए हमने सबसे पहले रफ ड्राइंग किया, उसके बाद हमने इस चार्ट पे ये ड्रॉ किया है और ये हमारा प्रैक्टिकल है। इसमें हम उस साइड से अपने पेट से फोर्स लगा सकते हैं। इससे ये जो सपोर्ट है उससे ये ऊपर की ओर जाएगा, उस साइड से हम सपोर्ट देंगे तो, और ये बोतल नीचे की साइड जाएगी। इससे पानी का बहाव नीचे की साइड जाएगा और हम कोई भी अपने हाथ धो सकता है इससे, और किसी भी लिए यूज़ कर सकता है। इस तरह ये काम करता है। हम हैंडीकैप लोगों के लिए ये यूज़ नहीं कर सकते, हम ये नहीं बना सकते।
Anything more? Okay, any queries, any questions? Go for it.
हाँ, जो વધારે અમે ટ્રાય કર્યું કે એફોર્ડ કર્યું તો સપોર્ટ વગેરે અમને લઈ શકો। મટીરિયલ હતું પણ સમયને લીધે થોડુંક અને દોરાથી ખાલી
સ્ટેબલ કરી શકે તમારી પાસે મટીરિયલ બી છે
હા તો આ સાઈડ આ જે છૂટો અલગ ભાગ છે ને અહીંયા અમે છોડી શકીએ અને પછી ફીલ્ડ ઊભું રહી શકે। It is possible.
Are you happy with the answer? Do you think it's feasible? એવું થઈ શકે? આ part છે એ અહીંયા fixed હોય so will it be much more stable? A bit stable, but will it be stable enough?
પછી પેડલ કઈ રીતે કામ કરે એ જો જોઈન્ટ થઈ જાય
એવી રીતે બેઠા અમારા જોઈન્ટ નથી રહેતા,
એટલે એને આધાર દેવા માટે રાખવામાં આવે છે। એટલે અહીંયા આધાર થઈ જાય ને તો આ હાલ છે પણ હાલ છે નહીં જ્યારે, અને અહીંયાથી તમે બોલ મારશો ત્યારે એ નીચે જ રહેશે પણ અહીંથી ઉપર રહેશે।
Okay, you're right in believing, is there any chance of this falling down that way?
Yes.
Do you think it's stable, unstable in that axis? Yeah? Do you understand? So here on my list. Okay? It's fine, it might be stable that way, but there is a possibility of it falling in the other axis. Yeah? So that is a design thing, problem you need to think about. Any other questions? My query, this instantly disqualifies the team because they've used something which is not authorized.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Now we are not going to penalize for them, but anyway, it's not working. Yeah? This one, you are not allowed that. But it's not working, so we are penalizing it. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Couple of things from me. Again, another design. Yeah, go.
ઓલું રાખેલું એ સપોર્ટ માટે આમ પેન્ડલના પુશ કરવા માટે ઈ ક્યારેક ભાંગી જાય તો ત્યારથી તો બંધ જ થઈ જાય ને
તો એના કરવા માટે એ શું કરે?
એના માટે મટીરિયલની મજબૂતાઈ જે છે એ વધારે પડે અને બાકી ફોર્સ એટલો બધો ના આપી શકીએ આપણે કે બધી ડેમેજ થઈ જાય.
A very good question. A very good question. બહુ સારો ક્વેશ્ચન કહેવાય કારણ કે એક જ વસ્તુ જો ફેલ થાય the whole design fails, isn't it? Now as designers, as engineers, you need to be thinking about how can it fail, where it will fail, and how to what extent will it fail. Actually નાની problem માં the whole design will fail. Okay, so as designers you need to always think about during the process of using it, is there a possibility of it failing, and if it fails કેટલા extension થઈ 80% થઈ જાય 100% થઈ જાય કે 10% એની efficiency ઓછી થઈ જાય, બરાબર ને? એ ધ્યાન રાખવું પડે. Very good question. What else? Anybody else? Yeah. One of the things I like is they spend a lot of time in creating the design. Makes it attractive. They spend some time in making it aesthetically good. મને એમ થાય જોઈને કે આ તો મારે યુઝ કરવું જ પડશે. Is it? No. I'm just joking. But they spend some time in design, putting some design. It goes away from a boring design. બરાબર ને? એમાં એ સરસ મજાના લાલ લીલા ચોપડા કર્યા અને વચમાં પીળા વ્હાઈટ વ્હાઈટ ટપકા મૂક્યા બહુ સરસ લાગે. લાગે ને? You're laughing. Okay, well done. Okay, who is remaining now? Team B. Come on then.
Good morning to judges, but it was not a good, good afternoon to judges. Sorry, but it was not so good for us, 25 of all of us, because we spent the afternoon with many of the headaches. I shall say like that only, because we found it very difficult. It was our fourth experience to doing workshop, and the previous three we only saw the machines, studied how the machine works, but never had an experience of practical there. So today we had it.
So is it good or bad?
70% is good and
Okay. Okay, we'll discuss that later on.
Okay. First of all, myself, Vishal Piliyat, Semester 1, Mechanical Department, Division M. These are my friends, Yuvraj, Gaurav, Harsh, and again Gaurav. Okay. I shall now explain. First of all, we took the idea from the concept of a dustbin which works by foot. I think you all know about that. And we also made such a type of design that works with the pedal. Here is the pedal, and if we pushes it downwards,
Okay. Okay.
બોટલે પાછળ ડૂબી ગયો જેવો પેનલ મૂકીને સપોર્ટ એટલે આ સપોર્ટ નીચે આવી જશે.
it acts as a basically
A counterbalance, yes, that's right.
to come back. Actually, we were thinking to make some spring-like stuff to pull it back, but we were not provided by systems, so we used the second model. And in the project that we have made, we have not written many things in that. We have just labeled it out, and I think from this you have must have understood the functioning of this. That's it.
Are you happy with the design?
Yes.
You are, because it's your design. Are there any shortcomings, any failures? Do you think it can be improved?
Yes.
How?
The thread which is used can be broken at many places by friction. Here it can be broken here and at this point, and then also the pedal where more friction will be there by your foot. So by using a stronger material than this, we can improve this. And I think it stays stable. so no need of any other support for it.
Do you think there is some problem here in this area?
Yeah, here the bottom is not remains stable for the time. We have to make a base here to make it stable, otherwise it will fall down.
Okay.
And we have thought of different idea, but actually concluded on this.
Okay. Any other questions for the team? Any other questions? Questions here? Everybody happy? No problems with the design? Perfect design, is it?
So, that's already I asked at the time of my.
Can you share it? What is the question?
Actually, usually we talked about that better. If the person who are not physically he is challenged, and so that in design they mentioned, but they forget to explain, right?
Okay. You have something that yes?
For the person who is normal, he can push it by his foot. For a person who is handicapped or children, they can do it by their hands.
The question, the challenge was that they should not be using their hands.
Okay.
Because is it right?
We have provided the ones.
Oh, so you have something more? Ah, that's fine.
As this stick also, the person who is not having legs, he can sit on here and use this. And the stick will be with the comments.
So you have hands are dirty. You are using the stick to operate it. And the second person, I don't know. Is there a problem of recontamination? If this is used again and again. Okay, so do you understand what is the problem? Okay, that's fine.
It was a spot idea for me, so it went wrong.
He tried to just put in some solutions there. Anyway, that's fine. Good thinking, by the way. Any other questions? Okay. I just want to say this is, I think, one of the only designs which is freestanding. Is it right? Do you agree to it? It stands without much support or no support at all. Having said that, when you actuate it, when you use it, there is a tendency of it just falling down, but that's something which you discussed that you can improve it. That's something. Sorry? Charge time, how much you understand, that's fine. But anyway, it's a reasonably good design. Okay, it's freestanding. So functionally, as far as I'm concerned, there is more chance of this being a commercially viable product or a product which can really work. Do you think? I don't know. I'm not trying to judge the panel, but that's what I think. Anyway, well done. You have to say something?
No, some queries.
Any queries, please?
Design modification of pedal is required. Height of the pedal. It is enough.
You mean that way?
Yes.
The ability of the person to. Okay, so you think that it should be much more at that angle, able to card accelerate it's difficult, isn't it? You can't keep your head like there. It's up nice and straight there, you can easily actuate it. That's what you mean, is that right? Do you think there is a change requirement to develop that? Is it easier to work that way, or is it easier to work it that way? Is it easier to work? Oh, Brooke. Is it easier to work it that way?
Is it work better? Easier.
Easier?
Easier.
Yeah? And also, if you have your design that way, your spring is in the middle, isn't it? Your spring will stop you from actuating it. If it's that way, you have more chances. So thinking about where the fulcrum and the pivot is, where the load is, you need to be thinking about aligning it. Yeah? Okay. That's fine.
Yes, my friends. Related to my name is Masik.
A bit louder.
My name is Madiash.
Engineers need to work in a very noisy environment, so it's loud, like me. Okay, good.
So today we are going to present our project.
Then talk to them.
Left hand students, today I am going to present a project about how to wash hands properly. How to wash hands properly. Here we make this project for that. It's we know that our main purpose is how to reduce diseases which occur by that, how to end causes and like that. So we can make this project to reduce that problems and even and some challenges which faced by some these decades by time of the science. So I'm introducing this project to all of my friends and faculty present. I'm going to start how it works.
Talk to them, not me.
I'm going to represent how it works and how.
If you want to talk in Gujarati and Hindi, that's fine. Don't worry. If you are able to explain more in Gujarati and Hindi, that's fine. Go.
तो हम अभी स्टार्ट करना कैसे काम करता है उसके बाद ये रिवर पुल की तरह है ऐसे करेंगे इसमें पानी आएगा और इसमें से कोई चीज़ से हाथ धो सकता है यहाँ पे इसका स्टेज इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि कहीं भी किया जा सकता है क्योंकि इसमें दो बोलते हैं उसमें आप ऐसे डाल के कहाँ भी सिस्टम लगा सकते हैं और इसका ये हमने दो विंडोज इसलिए इसमें मेन पानी है यहाँ से आप क्या ગાડી છે બીજી તે પણ કોઈ ડાન્સ આમાં ફીલ કરી શકો છો ને આ એને બેલેન્સ કરવાનું છે આ એક બોટલ ત્યારે જ આપણે રમાડ હશે એવું હશે એને બેલેન્સ કરવા માટે આ બીજો આપણે લોડ લગાડે છે જે એને રિસ્ટોર કરી શકશે આપણી પોઝિશન સો આ વન માસ છે અને આ ઓરિજિનલ છે બીજી ચીજ કામ કરશે આનો અને બે ડિસએડવાન્ટેજ એક તો આ ઇકો ફ્રેન્ડલી નથી કારણ કે આમાં આપણે પ્લાસ્ટિક યુઝ કરીએ હમણાં અને બીજું અને થ્રેડ ને બહુ કમજોર છે એટલે તેમાં પણ આપણે ફેરફાર કરવા જ પડે મતલબ ટૂંક સમયમાં આ પ્રોજેક્ટ ટકે નહીં ને એના પછી ઘણા બીજા ડિસએડવાન્ટેજ આવી શકે કારણ કે આટલું મોટું આ કુલિંગ લિવર છે એનાથી પણ પ્રોબ્લેમ કોકને થઈ શકે છે
સ્કૂટની જે મેટલ ના મારી શકે કેમ કે જ્યાં દોરી એટલે પેલું વજન એટલો છે એટલે સ્કૂટની ના કરી શકે
આ તો પણ આપણે ક્યાં ગાર્ડન્સ છે ત્યાં પણ આવી રીતે આપણે આયોજન કરીને આપણે પ્લાન્ટ્સને પાણી પણ ત્યાં આપી શકીએ છીએ આનો એક એડવાન્ટેજ આ છે અને બીજું આપણો જે પ્રોજેક્ટ હતો એમાં આપણે પીપલ્સને અવેર કરવા છે ડિસીઝથી પણ આનાથી આપણે ક્યાંય હાથનો ઉપયોગ તો આવશે જ નહીં એટલે એનાથી પણ આ થઈ શકશે હેન્ડીકેપ માટે સર અમે એક અલગ ડિઝાઇન બનાવી છે એટલે એકચ્યુઅલ આ પ્રોજેક્ટ આ છે પણ એમાં આપણે એક નવી અરેન્જમેન્ટ કરીને તેમની માટે પણ એક નવી ડિઝાઇન બનાવીને આ કરી શકીએ છીએ ખાલી એક નાનું મોડિફિકેશન આવશે એટલે આ હેન્ડીકેપ માટે પણ તૈયાર થઈ શકે છે
આ નાનું મોડિફિકેશન ક્યાં જશે
એ આની સાથે જોઈન્ટ કરવામાં આવશે
હા
પછી એની જે આપણે અહીંયા જે રીતે આપણે ચણ આપીએ ને એ રીતે
હાથેથી ઓપરેટ કરવાનું
ના અથવા હાથેથી અથવા તો હાથેથી
અથવા કોઈ દોરો એવી રીતે માની લે હેન્ડીકેપમાં આમ જોઈએ છે તો
દાખલાની મેં બાજુ દેવાને એ કોઈ ફળા જેવો હોય ને ફળાને આમ રાખો કેટલી રીતે થાય ત્યાં સુધી ફળામાંથી કાઢી એટલે આ હાથનો જે હાથનું કંઈ બીજું યુઝ ના આવતું ના પડે
Okay, so you will have a contraption which allows you to operate that without use of. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Finished? Okay, any questions, guys? Yeah?
इन लोगों ने बोला कि गार्डन में यूज हो सकता है लेकिन सर फिर उससे पहले इन लोगों ने बोला था कि इसको स्टेबल करने के लिए तो होल की जरूरत है गार्डन में कहाँ से हो रहा है
दीवार बना देंगे क्या हाँ? जिधर जिधर जाएंगे उधर से दीवार बना देंगे
पेड़ पे हम लगा सकते हैं ये
हाँ देखो बात ये है कि आप पेड़ पे लगा सकते हैं पेड़ पे लगा सकते हैं दीवार नहीं बनाया तो पेड़ पे तो लगा सकते हैं. Well done. Yeah.
But as you said earlier, then how can we go there and build the wall then?
You're right. Those that are self-sustaining, self-standing equipment होना चाहिए. बराबर? You should not take help from anything standing, wall or something. It should be much more stable equipment. Having said that, I do take your point, but it allows me to think that by creating such a design, they've gone outside the requirements of the specification, but it's much more what we call a collapsible design. It can be collapsed and it can be taken. It can be easily transported. So that's a kind of advantage, I think, though having said that, you are right that they've moved away from the critical point of its being freestanding. But there are certain advantages of having that. Okay? So I can give them a point based on.
In the sense I was not criticizing them as you.
Yeah, that's right. Your point taken. Yeah, that's fine. Anything else? Any other question? Yeah. एक डिजाइन में एक मानस नीचे होती है, બે માણસ नीचे होते हैं. बराबर है? एक वस्तु जो है બે માણસ नहीं आता.
સર આપણે એટેચ કરી દેશે ને પછી આ આની જરૂર નહીં પડે. પછી નો જરૂર પડે નહીં.
વાત બરોબર છે, પણ આની જરૂર શું પડે? એક માણસ સાબુ લે, બીજો પાણી રેડે. આની કોઈ જરૂર નથી. એ જ વાત નથી કે બરોબર ને? કોઈ ટેક જોઈને ભાઈ. હા? કોઈ ટેક.
સર આનો મેઇન બેનિફિટ એ છે કે આપણે પર્વતીય વિસ્તારમાં કોઈ પણ આપણે ચટ્ટાન ઉપર આપણે હોલ પાડીને પણ આને રાખી શકીએ.
પથ્થર મૂકીને કે કરાકે સપોર્ટ કરી શકાય. You have to think in those lines. It can be used in a different ways. માણસની જરૂર નથી. એક વખત ગમે ત્યાં સ્કોપ થઈ ગયો, પથ્થર, ચટ્ટાન, ટ્રીઝ કે ગમે તેની સાથે ચાલે. બરોબર ને?
ચટ્ટાનો પીકે
હવે આવતા વિચારો.
ડ્રિલિંગ મશીનથી કાણા તો પાડી શકીએ ને.
સાથે એક ડ્રિલિંગ મશીન નહીં આપશે. સાથે એક ડ્રિલિંગ મશીન પાડો બધું આપશે. હા બોલો.
તાપી તો અહીંયા ક્યાં ફિટ કરાય? પર્વત વિસ્તાર હોય કે આપણો ઓલો વૃક્ષ હોય તો એમાં ક્યાં તાપી ફિટ કરાય?
કીધું ને ઓર પાવર ડ્રિલ આપશે સાથે.
તો સરકારની જરૂર નથી.
મજાક કરીશું. I'm just joking. Yes, there are some disadvantages and advantages. You can't use it properly sometimes. They've gone away from the main specification, but there is, as I said, it is much more collapsible, so that is an advantage. And the bit advantages. Okay? Well done. Then a few minutes to go on. Can I just have
You are given feedback form.
Okay, guys. Reflections questions છે. એમાં 6 questions છે. And if you fill it up, પહેલો question છે કે what problem were you trying to solve during the service learning project? આ પ્રોજેક્ટ વખતે તમે કઈ જાતના પ્રોબ્લેમ સોલ્વ કરવાની કોશિશ કરતા હતા? Who or what were the contributing factors? Why did you design? Why did you have to do this project? ये question है. Can you answer that? તમે લખી શકો એના બારામાં 3-4 લાઈન? Okay, that is one thing. So in your teams, can you start filling the same? Okay, in your teams, can you start filling the same? The second question is what aspect of engineering did you learn? તમે આ પ્રોજેક્ટ કરવાથી કઈ જાતનું એન્જિનિયરિંગ શીખ્યા છો કે શીખશો એવું તમને લાગે છે? બરોબર? Okay. What have you learned from the people or the community you are serving? I think it's not a very valid question. Or how can you work with the community in sorting this problem out? That is the meaning of this question. What have you learned about your own views and abilities? That's important. Question number 4. What are your own views about તમારી ક્ષમતા અને તમારી એબિલિટી બારામાં શું કયો છો તમે આ પ્રોજેક્ટ થ્રુ શું કહી શકો આ કરવાથી? અંડરસ્ટેન્ડ? આ પ્રોજેક્ટ કરવાથી તમારું જે career goal છે, your aim to become an engineer, has it been reinforced? એ દૃઢ થયું છે? Do you want to still continue being an engineer? Is that what that question means? Yes or no? Or explain why? Somebody said, I have a bus project, I lost my interest in engineering, I'm going to walk out and not come back. Is there anybody? I'm glad nobody's there. Okay? Should engineers be active in the community? તમે આવા પ્રોજેક્ટ કરવા જોઈએ? Should we do more of these projects in the community? Why or why not? કરવા જોઈએ કે નહીં? જોઈએ તો શું કામ? અને if not, why not? Should we not do these projects? We are not bothered about this topic. Should we? So can you fill this up as a group? Can you fill this up? Write your group number on top, okay? And the second one is with regards to your feedback. How much my line here? You can cut it and you can each one of you can fill up this. This is for me and for the faculty as to what do you think about the project? Are there any drawbacks? આમાં કાંઈ એવું છે કે અમારે change કરવું જોઈએ? Should I change this? If I'm reading through, I should know whether is it doing its work? Is it working? Is this project working? If not, what are your suggestions? Okay? તમે શું કહેવા માંગો છો આ પ્રોજેક્ટમાં? બકવાસ પ્રોજેક્ટ છે, આવો કરતા જ નહીં કોઈ દિવસ. Fine. Okay? Okay, so try to fill this out. Okay? What's your question? Now, how much time do we give them to finish this? 5 minutes. 5 minutes to finish this quickly.